You did the responsible thing. You kept your money safe in a savings account. And that decision is costing you every single day while the number on your screen never even moves. Not in a crash, not because you did anything wrong. At a normal big bank, $10,000 can lose around $2,500 of buying power over 10 years, and nothing on your statement will ever show it. That's the trap. The balance never drops, so it feels safe. But what that money can actually buy keeps shrinking in the background, and most people don't catch it until years of it are gone. By the end of this, you'll know exactly how much your savings account is costing you, and the simple two-account fix that stops the bleeding, without touching the cash you actually need. Here's what's actually happening. Your money loses value in two places at once, and they work against each other. On one side, there's what your bank pays you. If your savings are at one of the big banks, a Chase, a Bank of America, a Wells Fargo, they're probably paying you about 0.01% interest. That's not a typo. On $10,000, that's about $1 a year. $1. On the other side, there's inflation, which is just the slow rise in the price of everything. Groceries, rent, gas, a coffee. Lately, that's run around 3% a year. So every year, the same money buys about 3% less than it did the year before. Put those together. Your bank hands you next to nothing, while prices climb 3%. So in real terms, in what your money can actually buy, you're going backwards by almost 3% a year. You feel responsible because you're saving, and you are saving. But the dollars are getting weaker while they sit there, and the account is designed so you never see it happen. Let me show you what that looks like on real money. Say you've done well, you've got $10,000 sitting in a big bank savings account. You're proud of it, and you should be. Leave it there, earning next to nothing, while inflation runs around 3%. 10 years later, the screen still says $10,000, maybe $10,000 and change. But that $10,000 now buys what about $7,400 bought back when you saved it. Read that again. You didn't lose a single dollar on paper. The number never dropped. But roughly $2,500 of buying power just quietly evaporated, gone, and nothing on your bank statement will ever show you a line item for it. That's what makes this so sneaky. If your balance dropped by $2,500, you'd be furious. You'd call the bank. But because it happens through prices going up instead of your number going down, it's invisible, so it keeps happening. And the bigger your savings, the more it costs you. $20,000, $40,000 sitting in a 0.01% account isn't twice or four times as safe. It's twice or four times the quiet loss. So the question isn't whether to save, it's where, because there's a version of this where your cash actually keeps up. Before the fix, understand why almost everyone falls for this. It's not about being dumb with money. Your brain trusts the number. When you open the app and the balance is exactly what it was, plus a few cents that reads as safe. Nothing bad happened. No red, no loss. The problem is that the number is telling you the wrong story. It measures dollars, not what dollars are worth. It's like weighing yourself on a scale that always says the same thing while your actual health quietly changes. The reading feels reassuring, and that's exactly why it's dangerous. The banks are not in a hurry to fix this for you, either. Your money sitting in a 0.01% account is a gift to them. They lend it out and earn real interest on it, and pass almost none of it back to you. That gap is their business model. None of this means saving is bad. Cash is good. Cash is safety. It just needs to be in the right kind of account, and that's where the fix comes in. It starts with a rule. Now, the internet's usual answer here is just invest it, invest everything. That advice is how people get burned, because here's the honest part. You need real cash and actual savings that you can grab tomorrow with no risk. Your emergency fund, the rent if you lose your job money, the car breaks down money. That should never be in the stock market, because the one time you need it could be the exact month the market is down 20%. So this isn't savings bad, investing good. It's smarter than that. It's a rule about time. The rule is simple. Split your money by when you'll need it. Money you might need in the next year or two, your emergency fund, a near-term goal that stays in cash, safe and reachable. Money you won't touch for years, that has no business sitting in cash losing value. It should be growing. The mistake isn't keeping cash. The mistake is keeping all of it in cash in the wrong account for years when only part of it needs to be there. So let's fix both buckets. Bucket one first, the cash you're keeping. There's a simple move that stops it from bleeding. The cash you need to keep safe shouldn't sit in a big bank savings account earning 0.01%. It should sit in a high-yield savings account. A high-yield savings account is the same idea as a normal savings account. Your money is safe. It's FDIC insured up to the limits just like any bank. You can withdraw it. The only difference is it actually pays you a real interest rate, because it's usually an online bank without expensive branches to fund. Lately, those have paid somewhere around 4 to 4.5%. Compare that to 0.01%. On $10,000, 0.01% pays you about $1 a year, Around 4.5% pays you about $450. Same money, same safety, same you can take it out whenever. $450 versus one, that's not an investment. That's just refusing to leave free money on the table. And here's the good part. At around 4.5%, your cash is finally keeping pace with, or even slightly beating, that 3% inflation. So the bleeding stops. Your emergency fund can just sit there and quietly hold its value, doing its actual job, which is being there when you need it. Moving it is not hard. You open a high-yield savings account online. It takes about 10 minutes, you link your current bank and you transfer the cash over. That's it. The money's just as safe, and now it's working instead of shrinking. That's bucket one handled. Now the money you won't touch for years. Cash in your high-yield account is now keeping up with inflation. Keeping up, not getting ahead. To actually get ahead, to build real wealth instead of just not losing, the money you won't need for years has to be invested. This is the part people are scared of, so let me make it small. Investing, for a normal person, doesn't mean picking stocks or watching charts. For most people, it's buying one low-cost index fund that owns the whole US market, and then leaving it alone. Historically, that's returned around 10% a year on average over the long run. Not every year and never in a straight line, but over decades. The difference is night and day. Cash keeps pace with inflation. Investing over the long run has grown well above it. One protects your money, the other grows it. So the full picture is simple. Near-term cash goes in high-yield savings, safe and keeping up. Long-term money gets invested, growing. Nothing important sitting in a 0.01% account bleeding value for no reason. If the investing part feels like the scary unknown, that's the next thing to fix, and I made a whole video on it. So here's the whole thing in one breath. A regular savings account feels safe because the number never drops. But at 0.01%, while inflation runs around 3%, your money is quietly losing buying power every year, enough that $10,000 can lose around $2,500 of value in a decade without a single alarm going off. The fix isn't to stop saving or to gamble your emergency fund. It's to split your money by when you'll need it. Cash you need soon goes in a high-yield savings account, around 4.5% instead of 0.01%, so it keeps pace with inflation and stops bleeding. Money you won't touch for years gets invested, so it actually grows. You could set this up this week. 10 minutes to open the high-yield account, one transfer, and the quiet loss stops. And once that long-term money is freed up to grow, the obvious question is how to actually invest it without overthinking it. That's exactly what the next video walks through. What putting even $50 a month into the market really does over time. I'll show you the real number. I'll see you there.